وعلى أشرف المرسلين وخاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين ثم اللعنة الدائمة عليهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين من الجن والإنس أجمعين حتى قيام يوم الدين آمين. Dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers, dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our live show with Fedek TV. I am pleased today to welcome with me Brother Adam Kazi. Brother Adam is from Sweden. He is visiting us in the UK. Brother Adam, mashallah, he moved from a Bakri background into a Shia, a follower of the school of Ahl Bayt Salamu alayhim recently. We are pleased to have him with us today in the show, and we will be asking him a few questions regarding his journey into Shia Islam, the school of Ahl Bayt Salamu alayhim. And if you had any queries or any comments, the phone lines are open. Inshallah, you could call us and present your question or comment if you like to Brother Adam later on. Brother Adam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, it will be useful to our dear audience and dear friends and brothers and sisters if you could enlighten them with your background, where you're from, how you ended up to be a follower of Ahl Bayt Salamu alayhim, the journey, what sort of stations you had, your research, anything you think which is relevant to encourage others perhaps to look into and learn from your experience and perhaps be guided to the school of Ahl Bayt Salamu alayhim.
Yes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. My name is Adam. I am now 29 years old. I was actually born in London, in the matter of fact in Alperton. And my father's from Pakistan originally, and my mother is from Sweden. So we were staying here, and we moved back to Sweden actually when I was 2 years old, to the capital of Sweden, which is called Stockholm. And I had a very good upbringing. I'm the only child, no siblings, and I was living in a very secure environment. Basically, I grew up in an area in Stockholm called Täby, and it's a very quiet place. I was basically the only mixed person over there, and my father is a Bakri. He's a Muslim, so-called Muslim, and basically I started my journey when I was 22 years old. Up till that time, I was not praying, I was not fasting, I was like a normal kid, really. And when I was 22 years old, actually, I decided to get religious. And I went to a local mosque, and I met up with some friends there. And we basically started chatting, and I learned how to pray and and different foundations of Islamic practices.
And that was, and sorry to interrupt you, brother, but that was when you learned the Bakri way, you know, the Umari way.
Yes, exactly. Okay. That was it. And I actually got in contact with the so-called Salafis or Wahhabis. And they were basically very much focusing on Aqidah issues like Tawheed, and you have to stay away from Shirk and all of these kind of things. And they were very, very, I should say, strict persons, really. And I basically got very much interested in this. And basically I went to their local mosque, and I started to, read the Koran, and I started to listen to their durus and so lectures and so on and so forth. And I was actually practicing for about 4 or 5 years. And after 4 or 5 years, I basically started questioning some of the things that they were basically stating, because they were very much against other like Bakri sects, and especially very, very critical and harsh towards the Shias, and especially the Ithna Ashariya or the Rafidah Shias. And so I was a little bit bothered by this, you know, because at first they were not too critical at all. But after around 2 or 3 years, when I became a Bakri, they started criticizing other sects and groups very, very much. So I didn't feel very comfortable with this. So I actually started to question some of these things. And but the problem was that I didn't get any real answers really from their so-called leaders. And I just want to mention as well that those so-called leaders, they basically studied in Saudi Arabia. They have like a university there called Islamic University of Medina, where a lot of people go from all over the world to learn this this kind of religion, and they want to spread it all over the world, basically. And the thing is that they were very harsh towards Shias, like I said. So I started questioning this, and basically from a point of Tariq al-Islam, because they never wanted to speak about the history of Islam, and especially when it came to questions regarding the Sahaba or the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi. So I basically started questioning this very, very much, and as always, I didn't get any proper answers. The only answers I got was basically that you should stay away from Ahl Bidah, like innovation, and you should stay away from the Shia sites and or especially the Rafidah sites and so on and so forth.
Can I ask you a question
Yes,
here,
sure.
brother? You know, it's very interesting when the people that you met who introduced Islam to you, and yet they were warning you against, I would understand their point of view of warning you against mixing up or dealing with Shia, Rafidah and so on, the innovators. But why were they so also equally warning you or cautioning you against other Sunni groups, Sufis, I don't know, Shafi'is, you know, the other, why do they, why, you know, everybody is wrong except them? And I don't understand the philosophy behind this, to be honest.
Yes, actually, like I said as well, they were not just harsh towards the Shias, also towards the other Bakri sects. And yeah, they basically criticized them for innovating a lot of different things, like practices on how to pray and so on and so forth. You know, they were very, very harsh people in the sense.
Okay. Very interesting. So those people were your initial contact with Islam. You learned about Islam. That was through the Salafi group in Stockholm, in Sweden.
Yes.
And they were the ones who mentored you, if you like, and educated you, and you had the chance to ask them questions and interact with them, and celebrate Eid with them, and do Ramadan with them, and all that.
Fasting, everything.
And do Salat al-Jama'ah with them on Friday and all this.
Yes.
Okay. Were they like, did they have any branches, or I don't know, did they interact with in other parts of Sweden, or just Stockholm?
No, basically there were two places, like Stockholm and Malmö.
Okay.
Yes. And those are the two main big places for the Salafis in Sweden. Yes, absolutely. But I would like to enlighten something else. Yeah. Also, I found what I felt very troubling was that it seemed after a time when I was dealing with these guys that they were very shallow. They were very much focusing on outwardly things and not so much of insight. For example, you should keep a long beard, you should have turn-ups and everything like that. And it seemed very much, you know, that their so-called religion was much more shallow than, they paid more attention to outward things than the inside things. This is was a very critical issue, because I was not the only person who actually started to question. There were a lot of other people as well who started to question these things, and they felt like very uncomfortable, really, you know, because you were not actually allowed to question anything.
Right. So they, the focus was on the appearance.
Yes.
You must have. I can understand the appearance being the clothing, the dress, the beard, the facial appearance.
Yes.
And the ghutra and all this.
Yes.
So this appearance was of very importance.
Yes.
But what about the main issues?
Yes.
What about the inside,
Exactly.
the issues, the essence of the matter?
Exactly. They basically
The spiritual side of Islam. How do they engage in that?
Yeah. Basically, they were very much focusing on narrations from the Sahaba, the so-called
Okay.
Sahaba, and very they took quoted hadiths from them, but rarely from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam.
Okay.
Never ever did I hear anything, because I had read the hadith from Muslim, but it states clearly that the Prophet said that I leave after me the Koran and my household, Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And basically I stated this to them as well, but they didn't want to give any proper answers to this.
I see. I beg your pardon. Do we have a technical problem, or are we okay? Are we okay? Inshallah, we're okay. So that was your first step into the world of Islam at large.
Yes.
Now, how the step after that, your research journey? What instigated it? What sparked it? Was there a spark? Was there an incident? Something you heard? Or is it because they told you don't speak to the Rafidah and you became curious? Or
I must say that I became very curious, obviously.
Okay.
I became very curious because I basically had not a friend, but there was a Shia guy at my university, basically.
Sorry, what were you studying?
I'm studying chemistry and chemical engineering and
MashaAllah,
business.
MashaAllah. Although, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you with the right career and and for the service of Ahlul Bayt. Yes.
Yeah, so I had a Shia friend, basically, and he basically pointed out some differences between us and between the Shias and the Bakris, obviously.
Okay.
And he very much also focused about the Sahaba and these kind of issues.
Okay. So that Shia friend of yours who somehow, subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has arranged for him to be in your life, and who he managed to introduce to you the concept of Ahlul Bayt and maybe answer a few of your questions.
Yes.
And how did, let's say, from that point of view, from that point in time, how did you progress? Where did you go after this?
After that, actually, I didn't, because he was actually a foreign student.
I see.
He was a foreign student, so unfortunately he actually went back to his home country. So I basically did my research on my own. I started to Google. I wanted to find some answers to my inquiries. So basically I got in contact with the Al-Qatra page of Sheikh Yasir Al-Habib, Hafidahullah. And basically they had an English section, obviously, and I started to listen to those lectures and read some of the articles over there. Yes.
Okay. So did you find the website al-qatra.net in English? Was it sufficient for you, or to take you another step forward, to progress in your?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. It was. I was very impressed, I must say, by both the articles and obviously the lectures, because all of the proofs were taken from the Bakr sources, obviously.
Right.
So I couldn't actually pay a blind eye to it. Obviously not. Okay. Of course.
So you from that point of view, you realize that there is a serious division or a clear-cut picture. What is Bakri Islam and what's Shia Islam?
Absolutely.
Did you challenge your old friends, your old brothers, about your findings, your new findings? You found out A, B, C, D points. Did you try and challenge them with it? Did you take it to them and say, look guys, I found this, and that. What do you think? What do you say? What was their reaction?
Their reaction was basically, like always, just to turn a blind eye. They didn't really want to question anything. They basically just told me to stay away from Rafidah and stay away from Ahl Bidah sites, basically. And they basically told me that I should really and sincerely come back to the path. This is basically what they say.
Ajib. So someone who has questions in the history of Islam, or something which is not, he would like to have an idea about or a clarification of, and if you're a Salafi, Bakri, you need to block your head, block your reasoning, block your intellectuality, and not to think. Is that what they're basically asking you not to think?
Exactly, exactly.
I'm surprised because they live in the Western world. They're not
Yeah.
living in the middle of the desert.
No.
This is Stockholm.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
very civilized, advanced country.
Calm country.
Calm
One
country
of the
where
most
people
calm countries
are
on earth.
used to debating and critical thinking
Yes.
and constructive criticism.
Yes,
And yet the
absolutely.
people,
absolutely. So I was very, very surprised. Very, very surprised, actually. So, I mean, I basically decided this search from actually starting the search of the Shiism started around 6 months ago, I should say. And basically, I decided to go to travel to Sheikh Yasser and Al-Qatr and Fadak TV to meet the Sheikh personally, because I was very much impressed by the evidence he gave and everything like that. So I met him, and obviously after our good meeting and discussion, I was very much convinced that the way of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam was the correct.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us, with yourself and us and everybody else who is watching us, firm on the wilayah of Ahlul Bayt salamun alayhim and the bara'ah from their enemies. MashaAllah,
Yes,
you are chosen, inshallah, by Ahlul Bayt
Yes,
salamun alayhim, and blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do and act in the service of, and the cause of Ahlul Bayt salamun alayhim. Dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers, Brother Adam, inshallah, in the near future, he is planning to make a move from Sweden to England. And maybe, inshallah, you will start watching him on our channel giving. We have a call, if you don't mind. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Can I take your name, please?
Yes, my name is Hussein. I'm calling from Norway.
Hussein from Norway. Yes.
Yeah, actually maybe have a delay here on your channel. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to greet you both and say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa
Alaikum
rahmatullah.
assalam wa
And
rahmatullah.
congratulate my brother there. I just turned off on the TV or checked the channel, your channel, and I saw you. And I thought maybe I can call and say Assalamu alaikum and congrats the brother.
Hayyakallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The lifeboat of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
Inshallah.
And at the same time, request you, brothers, to make a little effort. You know, now these days we have many satellite channels available.
Yes.
And the war on Islam, it's very serious. But unfortunately, the enemy is from our side. They are called Muslims. And they are causing confusion or some kind of misunderstanding. And I've seen now many Christian channels, they are attacking Islam and attacking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Yes.
And they are using the hadith of Bukhari and the hadith of Aisha alayha la'anullah.
La'natullah.
God damn her, and hope she burns with Abu Bakr and Umar and all the others. But the thing is, I wish that, alhamdulillah, I've seen now two brothers that speaks English that you're showing, and I wish that if you maybe start a program that discuss the matters the Christians are all the time and questioning Islam and saying, listen, your prophet has been cursed by a Jewish, blah, 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 a magician, whatever.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they are using not our books.
No.
And they are using the Sunnis books, the Sunnis, the hadith of the Sunni, the Bukhari, and they are laughing. And unfortunately, they are not allowing, or the times I've seen these programs, it was like not live, so I couldn't call in and stuff.
It's a very useful idea, Brother Hussein. I can see your point. I really can see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Western, or the foreigners, the Europeans, brand us all as Muslims, and they say, confusingly, we and them are Muslims in their eyes. But practically, we are two separate religions, two separate faiths.
And the funny thing, in one of these channels, they showed a Sheikh that was telling if magicians can put any curse on the prophet, then he is not a prophet. But they are not showing what Ahlul Bayt.
La'natullah ala Aisha. This is Aisha's poisoning of Islam.
Yes. So I wish, like, alhamdulillah, you have the power to make a program, ask these
Inshallah.
questions. And yeah, I hope, yani, if I could help you with any...
Ahsan, barakallah fiqh. Ahsan. Inshallah, we will take your point. Thank you for calling us.
Thank you so
Jazakallah
much,
khairan.
brother.
For making me, or letting me speak in your...
Ahsan, barakallah fiqh.
Barakallah fiqh. Thank you. Thank you.
See, the brother is hurt
Yes, of course.
because people in the Western world, they confuse us and them as Muslims. And they start
Unfortunately,
criticizing Islam from the point of view of what Aisha says.
Yes.
Aisha says the Prophet was bewitched. Aisha says the Prophet married me when I was 5 years old or 6 years old or whatever. And that really gives a bad impression on Islam,
Of course.
on the Prophet ﷺ. And blame it on Aisha. I think he's got a point. We need to make a program with yourself, perhaps in Swedish, with brother Yahya Seymour maybe later on.
Of course.
And just to address the foreigners, the civilized world, the non-Muslims, and tell them, look, you have this brand of Islam that says this, and the real Islam, which we believe we are following, the school of Al-Hayt alayhim salam, which is a boycotted school, does not have a lot of media, if you like, exposure, says this. And then we have to present our case.
Yeah, it's very important, very important to highlight it. Absolutely, absolutely.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So we were talking earlier about the rejection of your old brothers, between brackets, of listening to you, or listening to any critique that you had, or any questions that you had, and then the spark that you had, you moved, you looked, you researched, you looked at our website, you made an effort, you came across from Sweden to the UK, you made Sheikh Habib, and then did you read any other books, any other resources after that? Did you continue your journey into research? Or?
Yes, of course. I mean, I got some very, very good books from our great marja today, Sayyid Sadiq Hussein Shirazi. And very, very good books translated into the English language, of course. And on different topics that has to do with Aqidah, fiqh, and in general questions about Islamic practices, of course. So,
is there a golden advice you can offer those who are at the moment on the path of, I want to know which side of Islam to follow, I want to start practicing Islam, you know, and a piece of advice for the people who live in Sweden, Norway, in the Western world? And what can you tell them, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I would very much want you to study the hadiths, especially from the Bakri sources, because they're Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim and the authentic hadiths, and to see really how much information you will find there regarding especially the Sahaba like Aisha and Abu Bakr and Umar, because there's so much exposure when it comes to these three main figures of the so-called Bakri religion. And so I really want you to recommend you all to study especially Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih al-Muslim, and also Musnad ibn Hanbal, ibn Tirmidhi, ibn Majah, and Abu Dawood, and so on and so forth. And we will also put up the hadith references of some of these matters that has to do with the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi. And yes.
Well, you had an idea. You told me earlier before the show that you might be thinking of presenting kind of a series of shows for Fenny TV in Swedish language.
Yes.
That would be a very welcoming idea.
Yes.
We will be hitting a missing market in the sense that there is no one who does da'wah and tabligh, as I understand from you, directly addressing the Swedish nation.
Yes.
And I think Swedish is also understood by the Finnish and the Norwegians? Or?
No, yes. From the Norwegians and the Danish people will obviously know.
Will understand.
Yeah, understand Swedish, yes. Fortunately, the Finnish language is another language.
But it's understood.
Yes, actually, I mean, there are some Finnish people who actually understand Swedish as well. So we have a great opportunity here, obviously, to highlight these issues.
Were you planning to address the da'wah and tabligh in the Swedish language, inshallah, in the near future, speaking to the Christians or to the Swedish seculars, or do you want to speak to the Muslim community there and then teach them about Ahl Bayt alayhim as-salam? You depending how.
Yes, I very much would like to speak to both audiences.
Okay.
Of course, because I mean, there's so much interest really from, especially the Swedish people, so far as I can know, because I live there, obviously.
Okay.
So there's a lot of hunger for knowledge of Islam, because obviously of all the incidents that has happened. So information about the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam obviously is a very important thing to highlight, especially to the.
Let's take this call if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello, alaikum salam.
Hello, can I take your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Sadiq from Bahrain.
Salih from Bahrain.
Yes. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum. I'm very fine, thank you.
How is I don't know, I just know. What's his name?
Adam.
Adam, how are you, Adam?
Alhamdulillah, shukran. I'm fine, thank you so much. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Good. Good. You have been in Islam. How you find the Islam? You like it?
Yes, very much. It's the most important thing of my life. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I just want to speak about Aisha.
La'natullah. Yes, please go ahead. This is the channel where people can freely speak against Aisha. Be my guest.
Yes. Yes, right. Actually, in Baqi, you know, when we go to Medina Munawwara, they treat us like animals. These bakeries and big chefs in Saudi Arabia, they are bad, you know.
Yes.
When we are asking them, where is Aisha? Is it beside Rasulullah? Because they are always telling lies, you know.
Yeah.
She's Aisha
Na'latullah.
They said, no, it is close to Rasulullah. It's here. I said in front of her, she's not here. She's in Baqiyah. You have to tell the people the right.
Yes.
Not the wrong. You are just explaining to them, Aisha is here. And Aisha is in Baqiyah. She's angry with me.
Yes, understand.
Yes, right. She's just telling them wrong, you know. Aisha is here. Come and just say, oh, Aisha is great. She is bad. She is threatening Rasulullah. She is out of Rasulullah house. You know, she's in Baqiyah. They just tell us, you know, she's here. You know, and I don't care if they believe me. I'm just telling her the truth. She said, go away from her. She's doing very with me. I said, it's not good. No, it's in Islam. You have to tell right. She's in Baqiyah and Rasulullah is here. And, you know, she said, no. It's something like, I don't know why they create.
This is their religion. It's based on lies and lies upon lies, and they lie until they believe their own lies, Sadiq. Anyways, there are two stories about Aisha. One says she's buried in Baqiyah, and there's another one that says that she is buried somewhere in a jurf, somewhere in Medina, where she was meant to be meeting Muawiyah with her brother Abdurrahman ibn Abu Bakr, and he dumped her in a dry well, and then he put lime scale on her, so he buried her alive outside Medina. So there are two stories here, you know, and the story says that Abu Hurairah got one of the girls, the Jawari, one of the servants who used to work for Muawiyah. He killed her, Muawiyah killed her, and he brought her to Medina, and then Abu Hurairah prayed on her and said, this is Aisha. She died whilst meeting Muawiyah. So there are two stories there. So there are two stories. But anyways, she's definitely not buried next to the Prophet.
Story, yeah.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much. I just thank you.
Hayatullah. Thank you very much for calling us, sister.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, and
Jazakallah khairan. Jazakallah. May Allah bless you.
My regards to Samahat
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See, brother Sadiq, sister Sadiq often calls us on the live show, and when she's there, she's a follower. She encourages to have foreign language, if you like, programs on the TV, on Ferry TV. Yes. So, inshallah, brother, we were talking about your earlier about the proper planning of your future programs on Ferry TV. Inshallah, you will be addressing both audiences, the Christian, secular, non-Muslim one, as well as the Muslim ones. And inshallah, but your effort, your energy would help guide even if one person to the school of Ahl al-Bayt salamun alayhim. This is immeasurable in terms of value, inshallah. We thank you for giving us this time.
Thank you so much, brother.
And inshallah, brothers and sisters, viewers, friends, Brother Adam will be a future member of Ferry TV, inshallah. He will be presenting his own series of da'wah and tabligh programs in Swedish language. He is working on that. He is also planning to move from Sweden to the UK eventually after he finishes his degree in chemical engineering. And inshallah, we ask you to do dua for him, for his success, and for blessings for his future, if you like, plan. هذا وصلى الله على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.